bodies. I heartily welcome to Professor Arif Pathan sir. I request to Principal Preeti Pohekar ma'am to give his valuable thoughts for this workshop.
Thank you, ma'am. Namaskar to all. Friends, it gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all the dignitaries, delegates, and participants in this national workshop on recent trends in research methodology. I congratulate to Dr. Hansraj Joshi and Dr. Anuja Kastikar for organizing the workshop on the topic in the area our country is going to lead the world. I am thankful to the ACTRA, Dr. Mazharji Faruqi, Professor C.S. Patil for wonderful collaboration. No doubt today's speaker, Professor Arifji Pathan, and chair of the session, Professor Milinji Ubale, will enlighten us with their deep knowledge and learning on research methods, especially how to write a research project and research papers, etc. Friends, I think it's a need of an hour. Studies highlighted that the great scientists in ISRO, in NASA, are damn expert in their respective area, but not having writing skills. They cannot present the research effectively due to lack of research writing skills. And that's why we think that the work in the field of research and research writing is very essential. Friends, as I said, just we are becoming a developed nation and research is one of the dimensions. I always think that research should be the main product of education. In fact, research and education must be complementary to each other. Of course, research is not a fancy affair. No doubt, it gives a joy, it gives a sense of achievement, it provides economic security to the nation and confidence to the students. At one hand, it improves college placement and at other, the human civilization also. Friends, our Swatantraveer Sawarkar Mahavidyalaya is always abide to make a man and build the character, to ignite the potential of the students, teachers, and researchers. We try to incubate their minds, their thoughts, and actions on that. Today's workshop is one of the activities on that line exactly. I'm sure that our resource persons, trainers, will focus on various steps, dimension, areas, variables of research, and it will be very, very useful. I just want to bring to your notice that quality of education does not grow where research is absent. So always do the hard work, engage yourself in research continuously, and quality will itself come to you. Once again, hearty welcome and best wishes. Have a good day. Jai Hind.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ma'am. I request to Dr. Mazhar Faruqi sir to enlighten us and inaugurate this national workshop. Faruqi sir.
Good afternoon to all. Respected Principal Poekar Madam, President of Extra, Dr. C.S. Patil Madam, Sarang Joshi Sir, Kastikar Madam, all the participants who joined today. First of all, I declare that this workshop is inaugurated. I congratulate the organizing team and the college for organizing such type of activity workshop here related to the research. See, as far as NEP 20 is concerned, research is very important for higher education institutes. We are having a special emphasis on research activity. Particularly, the faculties associated with higher institutions They are required to create the knowledge. Creation of knowledge is one factor. Secondly, dissemination of that knowledge is important there. And in NAP also, skill development is one of the most important parameter. What do I mean by skill development? The skill required for research, that is the thinking skill, the skill for analysis, how to analyze the result, how to interpret the result, and how to represent it so that the world should know what is going on and what is the new invention you have done here. And that's why research is very important. That's why such type of workshops are very, very important here. See, you have to remember 3F, that is funds, faculties, and freedom. These are the three, suppose, F that you have to remember. For research work, you should have some type of funds available to you. As far as UGC is concerned, UGC is not granting the money for development of different facilities. Earlier, college development fund was there. Now, its main focus is on students. They are giving more grants to the research student here. So we should take the advantage of that one. Apart from that, we are having other agencies also, just like CSR are there, DBT is there, DST is there. So we have to apply for that and we have to take the help of that for funds. As far as faculties are concerned, so all faculties should be involved into the research activities and they have to take it as a passion, because it is my suppose observation, most of the faculties, they try to publish the research for purpose of promotion under caste scheme. This should not be there. So they have to involve totally into that research activities. Then how to publish their work, that is very important. And such type of workshop will help them how to interpret the results, how to write a research paper, and how it get published in good quality of research journal. That is very important. Second thing is here freedom. This is already there. Every researcher is having freedom to take the topic of research of his own interest. For example, I am a man of analytical chemistry or physical chemistry, but I can select if I want that synthesis of organic compound is very important. So that's I can turn to that one. It's freedom given to you. So freedom will be there. So all these three things are available to the all researchers, and therefore researchers has to take the advantage of this one. Now see, when I am working as a member of standing committee of UGC, the first task is to find out the research PhD students or universities giving fake degrees or not having that much, suppose, quality, low quality, sub quality is there. So we decided some parameters, whether the researcher, that student is published the paper in well-reputed UGC listed journals or not. That is one of the parameters. Whether the pre-PhD coursework is completed by the student or not. That is the another one. What kind of referees, means standard of referees is also very important. So everything at the first stage, totally, we are having 13 universities that has to be scrutinized for this one. What I want to tell you this one, because research is very important, and your research, when you are doing that and you are spending time, you are spending, suppose, your mind also, thoughts and everything, so then that should come to the word in a good research journal as a good piece of work here. So I think that this workshop will help in that direction. So I once again congratulate to the college Sawarkar College for arranging such type of nice workshop for the budding researchers here. Thank you very much for.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir, for your valuable guidance for new coming researchers.
Thank you.
Writing a research paper is the primary channel for passing on knowledge to scientists working in the same field or related fields. It is important to hold the skill of writing papers to demonstrate your ability to understand, relate to what has been learned. Better writing skills, more knowledge, efficient use of resources, developing critical thinking, and many more. In day one, I request to Professor Arif Pathan sir to focus on this topic and start the session. Professor Arif Pathan sir.
Thank you, Anuja madam. At the outset, I am thankful to the principal, Preeti Poikar madam, and Dr. Mazhar Farooqi sir for giving me an opportunity on a joint venture, that is the workshop, national level workshop organized by Swatantra Veer Sawarkar Mahavidyalaya, Bid. I am also thankful to the head of the department, Joshi sir, for giving me an opportunity to speak on the topic writing research papers and project report.
Voice is coming, no problem.
Voice is clear?
Clear, clear, sir.
Okay. Uh, the screen is visible
Yes, sir. Yes.
and it is moving, I think.
Sir, presentation is not visible yet.
Now is it visible?
No,
Is it
sir.
visible?
Yes, sir.
Ah, yes, yes, sir, yes.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
as rightly pointed out by Dr. Mazhar Farooqi sir, that in the education policy 2020, more emphasis is given on research and innovation, and it is made a compulsory part in PG and onwards, and some of the part is also included in graduation third year, so that students can be acquainted with research and innovation. Once a work is completed, then it is to be uh, publicized. The results to be sent to the general masses and the other research community. The question arises, why we have to write the research paper? The answer is simple, that a scientific experiment not which is not complete until the results have been published or acquainted to the others, and the outcome of the results are shared with the other scientists as well as general masses. And without publishing a paper, your work cannot be acknowledged and it will not benefit the society. So, for that purpose, we are writing the paper. Now, so far as uh, writing is concerned, we are communicating our results, we are giving the data and experimental procedures and the findings of our work to the other communities and faculties, research scholars, researchers, as well as it will benefit the companies, industries, etc., so that it will make the life more luxurious and more easy. For that purpose, we have to write a paper. So far as writing a paper or project is concerned, in that project, the writing should be in English, preferably, and it should be a proper language, proper English, so that the data are the content is communicated with full sense to all the receivers, and uh, it should be in the minimum wordings, maximum output should be sent to the receivers. So far as language is concerned, if you write a paper in improper language, lengthiest one, then it will be your poor representation, and it will be having a mask on your brilliant work. Your work is of high quality, but your presentation will make it very simple. So, for that purpose, you have the writing in the paper should be in the simple language and clear sentences. While writing a paper, there are certain things which are to be considered, which are to be kept in mind. First of all, the first thing which comes into our paper is deciding the authors or contributors of the research work, which is to be mentioned in our research paper. So we will see what are these. So far as order of the author is concerned, then there are number of authors, they may contribute to the research work in the given a project in a particular scheme. One is who actually performed the experiments in the laboratory, which is also involved in designing the reaction along with the senior person, and which is doing his research work, his experimentation in the laboratory. That person will be termed as the first author. So far as the senior partner, senior teacher, guide, who is planning the scheme, planning the research work, it is called as principal author. Generally, it is a guide. So when other contributors are also there, some are helping in other one way or the other, some are helping in finding out the references, some are involved in supporting by carrying out certain activities, biological activities or any other activities, providing other facilities, and providing other uh, help. So all these, they are the other contributors. So generally, while writing in a paper, the order is maintained that the first author should be the actual person who is performing the experiments in the laboratory, and also uh, the he is also the part and parcel of uh, the uh, scheme deciding manner, along with the research guide. Research guide is the principal author whose name appears in the last, and the other contributors which are also involved in, they are named in between the first author and the last author. Generally, they are written in the way that uh, the major contributor or higher contribution giving person name will appear second, then lower contributing will appear on the fourth, third, and so on. So in this way, they are arranged in order of decreasing their contributions in the that particular research project or project scheme. There are sometimes what happens then there are the two person, they are relatively contributing in equal sense. In that conditions, then they can be mentioned with their abstract, or they are shown by shown at the end of the paper, or below the list of authors that both are having same contribution. Some research journals, they in that alphabetical order is maintained while mentioning the the authors in a research paper. It may be possible that in a particular research scheme, more than one person is carrying out the experiments. Means combination of two students or three students, they can carry out the experiments equally in the laboratory. So they are having nearly equal contribution. So they are mentioned accordingly by abstract or as a first author. Sometimes two guides, they are involved in the planning of research work. In that conditions, multiple last author may be present. They are mentioned accordingly. So far as the work is concerned, the quality of research work, it is dependent on the presentation, as we have already mentioned there. So the quality of research work will be judged on the basis that in which type of research journal the paper appears. For example, now Collaborate, previously it is known as Thomson Reuters, they are categorizing them on the basis of impact factor. Web of Science is there, Scopus there, then UGC Care List is also there. So all these are the grading systems, or they are the agencies which are rating the journals according to their quality. So depending upon these qualities, the work will be published. So far as selecting a journal is there, first the the quality journals should be selected, and then in that accordingly which type of requirements are there, that is to be seen, and accordingly the work is to be carried out and sent to the journals. What sometimes what happens is the candidates, they are carrying out the experiments, and when they start writing, they select the journal, and after writing the paper, they come to know that that journal does not accept the paper in that particular area. So in that case, his work will not be acknowledged in that paper, does not appear in that journal. So while starting the research work, they have to decide which in which journal they are going to publish. Accordingly, they will plan the activities involved in that research work. Second point is that while writing a research paper, plagiarism is the key factor, that is also called as cut paste tendency, in which the candidates or persons, they are copying the content of previously published work from book or any research journal or anything. So that comes under the plagiarism. So plagiarism is the another key factor which is important while writing a research paper. We will come one by one later on. So far as uh, plagiarism is concerned, government and the research agencies, they are very stringent about the plagiarism, and there are very serious repercussions when the plagiarism exceeds a particular level. Uh, the For a writing a thesis and work, it should be less than 10% for thesis writing. So, and it is checked by different types of softwares. Uh, in our university, we are using drill bit now. Previously, we were using other research, other plagiarism checking softwares. So everyone should be aware that the work will be identified, will be will be catched by these plagiarism softwares. So the candidate should avoid the plagiarism, that is the copy paste from other resources. Now plagiarism is of different types. That is, first type is called as direct plagiarism. Direct plagiarism is nothing but it is the copy and paste from the other research journals or papers, where directly it is copied and pasted in our, without making any quotations, the inverted commas and referencing, so that the complete work will come under the direct plagiarism. Uh, sometimes uh, sometimes candidates think that I will copy the sentences and change the few words, and then it will be different from the original copied text. But one thing is to be kept in mind, that when uh, work is copied, Joshi sir can be
Uh, Bondwe sir, please mute yourself. Bondwe, Omkar Bondwe, please mute yourself.
So I was speaking about that the sometimes the work, the content is copied, and with minor corrections, minor changes, it is taken in our text. That also be notified when you use the plagiarism software. Say they identify that where from where the content is copied and pasted. Uh, Due to their properties, text properties, etc. Secondly, self plagiarism is the another key factor which is involved in the paper writing. That is, the self plagiarism means the work which is already we have mentioned, we have mentioned or published or submitted anywhere else. Sometimes suppose the work is is submitted in the form of thesis. That copy, the whole matter is copied and then it is pasted in our research paper, so that will come under self plagiarism. Sometimes the work which is reported or by ourselves in our previous paper, and that is taken for the new paper also, that comes under the self plagiarism. Mosaic plagiarism is also there. Then accidental plagiarism is there, where the candidate, the person doesn't know where, and then sometimes unintentional is there. He might be forgotten to quote or to make the inverted commas before and end of the content, so that that will come under the plagiarism. So these are the plagiarism is the one of the now plagiarism. In addition to plagiarism, sometimes what happens, that the primary literature which is mentioned there, to the places in which original scientific research is published in publicly accessible documents. Sometimes duplication of the publications is there, multiple publications is there, means at the same time the paper is communicated to two journals simultaneously or three journals, so multiple. Sometimes the work is written in the publications, means they are withdrawn, or they are of not good quality by publishers, so they can be sometimes because of copyright violation, the work is redundant, means that is withdrawal from the publications. So sometimes the papers, they are the secondary level, so in that way the work is, so far as good quality journals are there, they identify the duplication publication, multiple publication, and redundant publications. They are identified by the publishers by using the different plagiarism, copyright softwares, etc. so that can be avoided. So far as we have already discussed that the type of journals, they are also important. There are different types of agencies which are publishing the work in that particular field. So that is to be some. There are some journals which are charging publication charges. They are leaving some conditions that the paper should not be shared with others. So in that way, they are one way or the other, they are making this differently. So uh, in these uh, in these circumstances, the selection of research journal is very important. Very, it becomes a very vital, so that so there are certain research journals which are predatory and open access, and exploits the authors. They charge heavy publication fees. So all these are uh, are the points which are to be kept in mind while selecting the research paper. Quality of journal as well as. So far as writing a research paper is very important. So before writing a research paper or a project, the person should have the different types of things with him, just like here the records of writings results which he got during his experimentations, during the work he carried out on the table. So all these work data should be available with him. Then it should be make a table of that data, so that it will be presented in a concise manner in the research paper. Whenever necessary, graphs should be drawn, and then similarly he should keep the records of summaries of the results and observations, which are insignificant in writing a paper, but it is a part and parcel of the work. Then the files, different files which are needed. Uh, then while starting with the research paper writing, the most common principle which is applied is called as IMRAD. That is the main components of the research papers. They are expressed in terms of IMRAD, where I stands for introduction. In this introduction part, your answer should be related to why you have carried out this work, why you have selected this type of scheme. That is to be mentioned in this introduction, with the previous literature survey and data which is already reported in the research journals and the research and the magazines, etc. Secondly, methods. M stand for method, means second part of the research paper is the method. In the methods, how you have carried out, what do you have carried out, what where you have carried out, and all these data related to it, they are answered in this in this uh, head. Second, the third one is the result. R stand for results, and where what you have concluded from your work, what are the results, and how you are concluding that your data, what are the outcomes of your research work, which is mentioned in the results. Whenever necessary, it is also also um, uh, 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 compared with the other data already reported in the literature. Then the last point is discussion. So the results, and in discussion, the data which is mentioned there. So in the results, it is discussed in this, what are the positives and what are the negatives, how your work is having different uh, than the work already reported, and how it is beneficial to the society and the research community. Uh, so far as this already we have discussed, by means the writing process generally we are nowadays we are directly writing on the laptop or computer. Previously, it was written in handwriting and generating the different text and drawing the figures. And so, in that, in preliminary writing or pre-writing, we can say that it is the rough idea is there, rough writing is there, in which we are not caring about the neatness or spelling or sentence structures, etc. First of all, we are putting all those which are the points which are in our mind in on a paper or on a laptop, suppose, or computer. Once it is put on the computer or paper, then uh, it is further revised, and all the sentences are sentence structures are cleared and spellings are checked accurately and corrected accordingly. Then editing is there, then grammatical mistakes are removed and usage errors and other things are there. Then proofreading is there. Generally the senior persons, which are the research guide and the senior person, they are proofreading it so that there is no grammatic mistakes and the mistakes related to the content or the basic related to the subjects. So there is no contradiction to the subject laws or principles. And then hard copy is taken out, and that hard copy is again read out, and then it will be ready to the uh, it will be ready to the to send to the journal. So far as the complete structure is concerned, different part of the research papers are there. First is the title, which is to be given to the research paper or research project. It should not be a vague. What I mean to say, that title should be informative, it should be specific, understandable, it should be having minimum words. It should not exceed in any case 25 words, so that it will be easier for readers to come to some conclusions and their interest will remain in our paper. So maximum of up to 25 words the title will be given. And whenever we are writing a title, then it should be the nouns which are involved in that our title, it should be capitalized. Then followed by the names of the authors. Guys, we have already discussed earlier that the work, the first author, second author, third author, in that way the order should be mentioned there. So the names of the author, researchers which are involved in that research work, research project, they are mentioned in that way, and with their designation and so on. So these are the few key points which are to be kept in mind while deciding that while preparing a title. Uh, may uh, it should be short and avoid the using of the words using etc. In our uh, title. Then second is that it should be free from grammatical errors, faulty words, word orders, and it should be free from the confusing wordings and extrapolating the things in the title. So it should be minimized. It should be having some concise, and it should be having minimum words and maximum output should be there. So that is the thing. Then second point comes. Second point is that after the title and so there is abstract. Abstract is the short very concise information related to your work. First introductory part is there, how you have carried out, what you have carried out in your research work. uh, uh, and then how you have carried out, then what are the conclusions main conclusions, vital important conclusions, and concluding points they are mentioned in this abstract. So far as this abstract is concerned, it should not exceed more than 250 words. It should be less than 250 words. Uh, and now question arises why we have to write the abstract. So, the writing the answer is very simple one, that when we write an abstract, then we are giving the key points related to our work, means why we have selected, how we've selected, how we have carried out the work, and what are the conclusions. So if the points are uh, related to the researchers which are who are carrying out the experiments at different places, then it is of their interest, then they will read the complete paper. If they do not think that their work is related, or it is not related or not important for their work, then they will be leaving here only. So it should be attractive, and more
Sir,
emphasis should be given. More emphasis should be given to the conclusion part. Then these are the key factors which are to be included. It is to be kept in mind while writing an abstract, is that, as earlier I've mentioned, that 250 it should not exceed 250 words. Then uh, generally the abstract is a one paragraph. It is written in a single paragraph. There is no two or three paragraphs. All the data, these points are covered in a single paragraph. Then, as already mentioned here, that the abstract abstract, the presentation in such way that already the work is carried out, already done, and the conclusions are drawn. Therefore, it should be in terms of past tense, because the work is already done. Then in this long word should be followed by, if any long words are there, so it should be followed by the abbreviations in that abstract. Uh,
Arif sir, we
huh?
cannot see your PPT. We cannot see your PPT.
1 minute. So 1 minute. Now it is clear. Is it
No, sir.
visible? Is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Ah.
Yes, sir.
So I was telling about the some key points which is to be kept in mind while writing an abstract is, already we have discussed that it should not exceed more than 250 words. Then it is a single paragraph matter. Should be written in a single paragraph. Then all the things which are mentioned, it is written in the past tense. The wording should be in the past tense. The sentence is drafted in such a way that it is in a past tense, as the work is already carried out and conclusions have been drawn. So it is to be. Second point is that there is no need to cite any references. So in this abstract, citations are not mentioned there. If some generals, if they require, then it is mentioned there, that it will be the exceptional cases. But generally, in general, all the papers, they are do not require the citation of references in the abstract. Then uh, conclusions are mentioned there. And similarly, uh, these are the questions which are to be answered in abstract. What was I was studying? Why was this an important questions? Why we have selected this scheme? Why you have carried out that research work? That is the second point. Then what did I know about this topic before I did study? What model was testing? What was the model of testing? then how the work is carried out, what are the conclusions. So these are the points. So far as the first part of the research paper in uh, paper is concerned, that is the introduction. We have already mentioned, or we have discussed earlier, just like it is the important part in almost all the research journals. They require introductory part. That introductory part is nothing but it is the uh, uh, contributions already reported by the others related to your selected research topic research topic. Then it is properly cited during the text, and referencing is mentioned at the end of the paper. While writing a paper, you have to be very precise and very accurate, as well as very uh, keen, so that it should be interesting and more related to the topic. While writing a introduction, I have uh, given here some points which are to be kept in mind for writing a introduction part. First point is that it should present the nature and scope of the problem investigated. Means why you have selected this topic, what is the importance of the topic, why you have carried out that work. So why you have selected that scheme or work research topic, that is to be addressed with citations, and giving the important literature survey or literature data already reported there. Then secondly, what is the method of investigation? How you have method? Which method you have adopted for the investigation research work? What you have carried out? How which method is used? How you have carried out the method? Already mentioned the methods are how they are different from your method. So that is to be mentioned there. Uh, how your work selected topic is different from the already reported work. Your work is so all these things important point is to be kept in mind while writing a introductory part. uh, in this introductory part, generally present tense is used while referring the work already mentioned in the literature by in the different journals. It is mentioned in terms of present tense. So present tense is sometimes it may require past tense also, but majority of them they are referred in present tense. uh, then second point, next point is that while writing introduction, active voices should be used whenever possible. Avoid lengthy and unfocused uh, reviews which are there, which are unfocused, which is not related to our work, uh, or if they are lengthy. So that should be avoided from the introductory part. Then whenever the candidate person is writing a paper introductory part, then he has to cite cite the research paper properly uh, to avoid any plagiarism and copy paste uh, matters. During writing the introductory part, sometimes we use abbreviations, and sometimes special terms are used. So they are to be defined. If they are special terms and abbreviations are there, then be followed by the complete their full form, etc. So that is the next point. Then the next part of the paper which is included, which is the part of the research paper, is the methods. Method is the actual procedure adopted during the scheme work carried out at our laboratories or any thing. So in this method, or sometimes it is called as materials or methods, and sometimes it is known as procedures, which is to be mentioned here. So that comes in the same head, that is procedure or methods or materials. So in this, the activities which are carried out, they are mentioned in chronological orders uh, during the year work, means from where you have collected the resources, material, chemicals. Suppose in our chemistry we are collecting the materials and other things. Which type of instruments are used? So, excuse me. So, which type of instruments are used? What are the makes of those instruments, and what are the calibrating procedures? What are the special conditions required for that instruments, etc.? They are mentioned there. Different special solvents are so they are mentioned first. Then, what is the exact procedure you have adopted? Not the procedure which is given in the book or any other place, uh, research journal or any textbooks, etc. So the actual procedure is described in the later in the second part of this introduction, where exact procedure which is used for the research work is mentioned there. And in this introductory part, uh, everything should be precise, complete, and concise. Means precise, complete, and concise. Means precise means accurate, as well as it should not be having any error. Then it should be complete. Maximum points should be included, and it should be written in short, not too much lengthy or in confusing manner. So that is the things. It does not tells us what was discovered in the methods. We are not discussing what we have discovered, what is the results, what the outcome of our experiments are there. It is not mentioned in the methods. Only the procedure related things are mentioned in the methods and materials. It is written in number of paragraphs, number of steps. They can be written in paragraphs, number of paragraphs, depending upon the need. Then there are a few points which are again I have mentioned there, that while writing about this uh, material and method section, provide full details so that the experiments are reproducible. Means that the person who is reading this paper will be able to carry out the same experiment at his research laboratory. Second point is that if peer review has doubt, then the experiments could be repeated. If a peer reviewer is having some doubt that it may not happen, then you can carry out the same experiment, or he can carry out the same. Otherwise, your manuscript will be rejected. Next point is that organize the method under subheadings. So it should be divided into subheadings. Means if you have if the work is carried out in steps, number of schemes, 2 or 3 schemes, then that is to be mentioned in different headings, subheadings, so that it will be easier for understanding. Then second, next point is that describe the experiment as design in detail. Means experimental procedure is to be given in detail, and do not mix some of the results in the sections already mentioned there. Write in past tense, because after completing the work, the writing work is started. So what I mean to say here is that the work is already completed. Therefore, it should be mentioned in terms of past tense, not in a present tense or future tense. So already things are mentioned. And then the next point is the next element which is to be mentioned in our research paper is results. Results are very important part of our research paper. In that, the data, which is the results which are obtained from our experiments, uh, they are graphs, tables, then spectras, and then any uh, thing which is related to the experiments which is given in our organic synthesis. We are having the melting point data, appearances, then different physical parameters, etc. All these things that they are mentioned in these results. They are either in the present of tables or graphs or in the form of photos, etc. They are mentioned there. It can be presented in several. And while we're mentioning the results uh, uh, in the writing results, uh, writing a result, it will be done using different or several number of paragraphs. Um, uh, Here we can have the slide where we can see that the result section is written in the past tense. Number one. Second point is that it is the core or heart of the paper. It is very important because the work which is reported in our research paper, it will be dependent on these results, on this data. uh, that will give the clear picture about our work. It need to be clearly and simply stated, since it constitutes the new knowledge contributed to the world. The data which is reporting here, the matter written here, it is to be benefited by to the beneficial to the others, scientists as well as the general public or industries, etc. So it should be accurate and precise, as well as it should not be confusing, and it will be very important. So it should be clearly mentioned. The similarly, in this major points are to be mentioned there in in the results. Then uh, how to present the result, that is the how to present the data in this result. So directly in the text, while right in the text or in the running text, data can be presented, as well as it is in the form of table. There are certain parameters which are studied, so it can be mentioned in the tabulated form. Similarly, there are figures are there, some photos are there, some microbial activities are carried out, suppose, then their photos and pictures are there, that is to be included in. So in this way they are given in this uh, they are presented in the results. uh, while writing a mentioning a results, writing a results section in this research paper, generally each table and figure, it should be mentioned in the running text, so that it can be understandable to the receivers. And any table or figure which is not mentioned in our text or sentences, it should not be included in our results. So every table or figure which is to be mentioned here, it should be cited, or it should be given proper cite points or um, link to the to the test. Then the next part is the discussion part. Discussion part. Discussion part is a very difficult task, as well as it is very we can say that very uh, hard to uh, s- write, because here the crux of the work is to be mentioned here. Important point and important outcome should be mentioned here. So uh, your data is having some conclusions, your data is having some new findings, that is to be put here in a proper way, very in a precise manner, very accurately, so that it will be beneficial to the others. uh, and while writing a discussions, these points are to be to be considered. These points are to be considered. That is the first point, is that what is it is to be we can say that interpret this part in our discussion is nothing but it is interpretation and conclusions of your findings or research work. what which you have already which we have already which already given in the text. Uh, Now, one thing is to be discussed in this work. What was your goal while starting the study? What was the aim of your experiment, and what results you are getting? Means how they are related. Means they are according to your expectation or below expectation. They are opposite, or they are related. They are more. How they are related to the previously studied data or research work. So that is to be mentioned there. This is in your chance to demonstrate your ability to synthesize and analyze, evaluate and interpret and reason effectively. You have to mention the reasoning for those means these points, how you design this discussion, how you will analyze the data which you have got in your results, how you are evaluate or interpret, and how you are means here you are mentioning or you are giving reasons for each and every different outcome or findings that is to be mentioned or which is to be given in this discussion part. Similarly, there should be some at the end of the or during the discussions, at the end, nearly end of the discussions, there should be something which is to be futuristic eye. Means it should be having some area to be pointed out for future work or future research that is to be highlighted, or there should be a window for the future study. So that is to be mentioned here. These are the different points which I have already mentioned here uh, in the discussions. Now the next part which is important in our research paper is that referencing. The referencing should be done in different ways depending upon the journals uh, they demand. Some they are mentioning in alphabetical order. Some they are mentioning in the form of increasing order of their year of appearance. Some they are arranging require references in the form of different formats. Generally, the more common format which is used is the Harvard format, in which name and year system is most widely used in the research journals. So, and this references outside sources you have reported or you have mentioned in your introduction part, your result and discussion part, or maybe in the experimental part, they should be here properly acknowledged here. Then citations followed by author's name, year of publications are there. If more than two paper authors are there, their names are written accordingly. According to the research the journals pattern they demand. Then some in some cases they are the names of the authors they are mentioned with their surnames and initials are given. Some requires full complete name without any initials, means complete names are required. Then volume in some journals they are their year of publications are mentioned. Some so all these things should uh, be according to the, and some journals they are precise preferably and requires acknowledgements, means they want to know the conflict of interest whether your work is related to the others or not. That is to be also mentioned there. So all these points are to be mentioned as per the requirement of the research journals in which we are going to publish the paper. uh, Generally, do not use the word wish to thank. No, you should directly thank. I thank, because they are, because of their contributions and their so directly you should thank and you should be very firm on your acknowledgements so that it should be acknowledged properly. Then some they requires some they require some important uh, funding agencies mentioned there, conflict of interest. Sometimes some chemicals or facilities you are provided, they are the properties of others, so they should be mentioned accordingly. Um, and if the organizers permit me, I can show another slide. And so far as this presentation is over, so I am thankful to the organizers for giving me an opportunity to interact with the different researchers, guides, and research scholars, as well as the students of MSc PG courses. Uh, Joshi sir, can I continue for 10 minutes further? Uh, can you see this? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Uh, can,
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
can you see this
Yes, sir.
research paper?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So it is mentioned there already with the.
It is not visible, sir.
Okay, I will show you. 1 minute.
Sir, after this, queries are there, hand raise are there.
Okay, we will discuss it. One by one. Now it is visible.
No, sir.
Still not, sir.
Now,
No, sir.
Yes, sir. Now it
Yes,
is
sir.
visible.
Yes, sir.
No, it is.
now it is visible.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
we can have a one paper here. One research paper is there where different points are mentioned there. Here the first point is title. It should be informative. Already we have discussed these points. Maximum words should be 25. That is the then in these points in this lines, the researchers, name of the researchers in the order of their in particular order is given there, who is the first author, last author, and the corresponding author is either first author or the last author. That is the guide is the corresponding author. It is made with abstract, sorry, abstract, and their associations are mentioned there where they belongs to. Then here abstract is mentioned there. Can you see there abstract now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, so it should be having maximum 250 words, and already with different arrows I have mentioned there. What should be, it should be activized, already we discussed. Then result summarized there in between, starting introductory sentences are there, background and context. Then principal objectives are mentioned in the middle, and lastly the conclusions part and precisely mentioned conclusion part. Then next will be the introductory part. Already the introduction is there. Already we have discussed this introduction part. So these points are there, already discussed in our previous discussions in our present in the previous slides. So these are the different points which are shown there. Different points are there, how to write the research paper. Methods is there here. Methods are mentioned on the left hand side. So they require some. In this some one important point is that in some journals, if you use any living animal, then their ethic committee requires permissions from the government and so on and so. So many journals they require ethics statement that you have to get permission to use those animals for your analysis or studies. Then I was mentioning here this here in this table number one is there. So table number one, it should be cited or it should be mentioned in our uh, text. Here it is mentioned on the upper line. Here it can be seen here. Here table number 1. So it is table number 1. So table number 1 is mentioned there. If you do not write here table 1, then it will be difficult to understand the content, why this table is put in our research paper. So that is to be kept in mind, sir. Then secondly, next one is results. Here procedures are given in, it is the outcome of the results is mentioned there. What outcome of the experiments are given there, what are the analysis, how it is carried out, how the data is here there. Then it is the next part is discussion part, results and discussions. And here there is a window for future work. All these are things are there. Then here table again, table number 2 is there. So all these things they are mentioned there. Then see here in the table, there are certain things here. Abstracts are there, LD50 values are given, so it is referenced with or it is mentioned there. A means we have divided LD50 values given in a microgram per B, etc. So and so. So short for any abstract or short, it is mentioned there. Some uh, symbols are there mentioned here. That is to be here. Symbols are there. That is to be, because it is not possible to explain the importance of the or meaning of that symbol there. So it is mentioned below the table. So all these points are to be considered while writing a research paper. So these are there. Yeah, these graphs, etc. Their significance of your work is related and so on. So I was mentioning here that acknowledgements are there who helped uh, for the present research work. Some research journals they require supporting information, means they are not significant for reading the research paper, but they are important, without which the work is cannot be complete. So that data is supporting data we can have, so it can be required for certain papers, research journals. Sorry. So they are some research journals they require the contribution of each of the authors, what he have done in this research work. Then references are there. So references are there in this particular one. Surname is given, then the initials are there given. So all, then year of publications are there, research journal, title of the paper is also may required here. Nowadays in research references they require DOI number, uh, digital object identified number is DOI number is required, which is allotted for the particular paper. So they are requiring nowadays. So that is to be given in this. They are given in their appearance, etc. So it was about this paper related thing. Then one I would like to mention for the MSc students. For MSc students, I would like to give the brief idea about how to write uh, the work in a project or dissertation, project file or dissertation. So it is the, is it visible?
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, visible, sir.
Visible. So that is the first page of research project is here. The title page, we can say that it is a title page. It consists of title of the paper, then submitted by to which of the institutions, which is affiliated to university, for which purpose we are there, submitting Master of Science Chemistry, affiliations, name of the students, name of the guide. Then there is mention of the certificate is there. Uh, it is issued by the research guide, project guide, as well as it will be examined by the internal and external examiners, certified by them. Then declaration is signed by the student, the candidate or student, that the work is done by her or him, as well as the the work is not submitted anywhere else, and it is done by him or her. Then acknowledgements are there. Acknowledgement in the acknowledgement section, there everyone who have contributed or helped to the student, it should be mentioned in a proper way, and accordingly in the decreasing order of their contributions and their importance, they are mentioned in acknowledgement section. uh, some Many of the people they mentioned here, the contribution of parents and family members, wife and children, etc. They are also contributing because they are not directly helping you to in the experimentation and reading, writing the project, etc. But they are helping because you are given free time to carry out that research work. They are not asking you to asking the students children to bring this thing and that thing from market and wasting time. So they are providing in that sense the help to the students. They are not asking them to carry out many work related to their home. So means they are providing time to for learning. So that is their contribution. So that can be acknowledged accordingly. Second is next point is that index is their introduction. Already we have discussed in writing a research paper. Similar things apply here for the introduction part. Then introduction part, general brief introductory part is there related to the topic. Then literature survey, the work were already reported by the researchers in different research journals, magazines, that is to be cited here in this literature survey. Then experimental details, already we discussed there, they are in the form of methods or experimental details, that is to be mentioned here. Exact procedures which are adopted during the experiment, they are mentioned there. Then result and discussions. Next part is the result and discussion. Here in this result and discussions, the part is combined. It may be different, made different, or it may be combined together. So results, already the things which is same there is, but in the research journals or research, in the research paper, yeah, they are concisely mentioned there. While writing the project work, your presentation is in a elaborate manner. So in a detailed manner, here detailed manner in a detailed manner they are given, while in the research paper it is in the short. So that is their conclusion is there, references are there. So these are the same things. Okay, so it was about here, just here general introductory remarks there. What are heterocyclic compounds for this topic, suppose. Then nomenclature, imidazole related is compound is there, so it is related to. Then literature survey is there. So the important diagrams, figures, and tables can be used for their literature surveys there, who carry out which type of work and so on. So all these things are mentioned there. And then experimental details. And experimental details are their exact procedures. Is there in this particular case, and the scheme is there. Then procedures are given, adopted for the experiments and so on. Detail exact procedures are there. Then in detail result and discussions are there. Means how much the heating time is there, reaction time is there, how much quantity of how much percentage you have got for these particular compounds, what are the melting points and other parameters you have reported there, appearances are there and so on. So they are given there. And the discussion part, you are discussing the results which are already mentioned, already given in the result part. It is discussed how it is different, what is its importance, why it is, you can say that can be different from the other reported data. Then conclusion is there for one, it may contain 1 to 2 paragraphs simply, how your important is important. Then these are the references. uh, Here initials are taken first, and then their surnames, And in previous discussions or paper, I have shown there where first surname was there, then initials were there. So it will be according to the requirement of the research journal. So that can be decided on the basis of that thing. Uh, so it is complete from my side. Any difficulty you may ask. I will try to discuss the matter with you.
Some hand raise are there, sir.
Yes.
I think considering time limitation, we will allow them 3 participants to ask them their queries. Anil Shendge, sir, please ask. Anil Shendge. Anil Shendge. Okay. Ansari Mohammed. Ansari Mohammed. Sheikh Fatima. Sheikh Fatima is there. Raja Mulli Khan. Okay, anyone have doubt? Okay. Thank you, sir. Professor Arif Pathan, sir, widely focus on A to Z of writing of
I have
research
raised hand.
project.
I have raised hand.
Hello.
I have raised hand. I have a
Okay.
query to
Ask.
myself, Dr. Sheikh. Sir, Arif sir, you have mentioned about some softwares about checking plagiarism. Will you please say the names of those softwares?
In our university, we are using drill bit. Trinitin is used by certain universities. Urkund was already previously used by our university. But while checking this plagiarism, uh, my personal opinion is that you should not use online you may call it free softwares. They are also giving the plagiarism data, but they capture our data also. They can use that data to the other places also. So generally it should be avoided. And so far as our university is concerned, our university is using drill bit now as a software.
Sir, some AI tools are available on internet, and this is that they can convert the text so that they can be skipped from plagiarisms. How much that weights?
So far as data is concerned, if you are using this online live, then it may be possible that your data is saved on the server and that can be misused anywhere else. So it will be, my suggestion is that it should be a paid version and that the data cannot be misused by this.
Use of AI tools.
There are use of AI tools nowadays. They are used, and it will be important to search that data for our different types of referencing. We can download them. We can use the AI tools, but when you are writing a paper, you should have the complete information of a research paper. The data which is coming out in the form of text in the web page, it should not be used. It should be written and it will be mentioned by a complete reading of the research paper, so that it gives the complete insight into the text.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, sir. I request today's chairperson of the session, Dr. Milind Ubale sir, principal of AEVPM Women's College, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, to conclude the session. Dr. Milind Ubale sir.
Evening to one and all. Today's session given by Dr. Professor Arif Pathan sir was not only useful but fruitful for the budding researcher of this region. That was the very nice, lucid, it was given in nice, simple, lucid language. The presentation was up to the mark. Not only that, he has given the demonstration of a research article, how to write a research paper. That was very important, because nowadays there are a lot of research guides around in the vicinity of a university. In every subject, there are professors and they are research guide of the university. And many of the students who have registered for the PhD degree under the guidance, they are not knowing what should be the steps, how to carry the research work, and how to carry the how to write the paper. That is important. And if such kind of lecture, if they attend, and maximum, I think 150 around participants were there. So they have actually enjoyed the lecture, which was given by Dr. Professor Arif Pathan sir, who happens to be the chairman of the Board of Studies in the subject of chemistry. So I congratulate Arif Pathan sir for the lecture which he has delivered. And also I congratulate Principal Priti Pohekar sir, Madam, Convener Anuja Kastikar Madam, and Hansraj Joshi sir for giving me the opportunity to chair this session. So it was a very beautiful session. Arif sir has meticulously given the point and given the one-to-one points there, I will say, which will definitely help the researcher to showcase their research work, which they are carrying in the laboratory, or the other faculty members or other subject members who are carrying the work in the library work or some other way, collection of data. Then there are different ways of collecting the data that we say result. So sir has given the introductory part, then how to write the abstract, and what should be the numbers, words and numbers in that abstract, and how to write the introduction part, and how to go for the literature survey, and how to collect the data, and how material is used, material methodology, and then definitely whatever the result data which has been collected, how it should be interpreted, and how it should be interpreted, and it should be correlated with the earlier published work. So that was a beautiful lecture given by Arif Pathan sir. I again congratulate Arif Pathan sir and the organizing committee of Sawarkar College for organizing such a wonderful activity for the budding researcher and also the teachers of the region. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. At last, I would thanks to our principal, Dr. Priti Pohekar ma'am, for his guidance and support. I would thankful to Dr. Mazhar Farooqi sir, Principal Maulana Azad Mahavidyalaya Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and Secretary of ACTRA, Mr. Dr. Mrs. C.S. Patil ma'am, Principal Muktanand Mahavidyalaya Gangapur, President ACTRA. Special thanks to Session Chairman Dr. Milind Ubale sir, Principal of AEVPM Women's College, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, and Speaker Professor Arif Pathan sir, Chairman BOS Dr. Bamu, Head of Department of Chemistry, Maulana Azad College, Chhatrapati Sambhajinagar, for their valuable guidance. And I would thanks to my vice principals, Dr. Lakshmikant Bahegavankar sir, Dr. Rajesh Dhere sir, and all research guides, researchers, students, faculty members, and librarians who have joined as a participant for this national workshop. We will meet tomorrow on 4 o'clock for new upgradation. Stay connected. Thank you.
Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Thank you, madam.
Thank you. आरिफ सर खूप सुंदर झालं.
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
खूप छान झालं. रिसर्च फेलो पण होते आमचे जॉईन ह्याला, त्याच्यामुळे त्यांच्यासाठी पण चांगलं झालं. MSc चे स्टुडंट्स तर आहेतच.
Thank you, madam.
धन्यवाद उबाळे सर.
Thank you, madam.